Welcome everyone to this video lecture series of wireless cellular and 4G LTE broadband. So today we will go with this module number 5, that is radio resource management and mobility management. Okay. So in this radio resource management and mobility management, so we will see how this data flow takes place and how the resources are allocated to the wireless LTE, 4G LTE, okay, or 4G LTE. Okay. So before going to in depth the discussion about how this resource management can takes place, okay. So here in this module number 5, we will be first looking into some of the major concepts related to LGA. Okay. So the very first concept here is nothing but we will see how the quality of service is increased. Okay. You know what do you mean by the quality of service? For example, if I have a network, okay, and if that particular network is not giving me the quality of service, for example, we are not able to hear properly, we are facing a bit problem with the network issues, okay, we don't have any control over the network. So therefore those are the various parameters which will help you to try to go for the better quality of the service providers. So therefore the very first important here, the concept is nothing but the quality of service. And the second thing is the architecture of LTE. You know what do you mean by architecture? Architecture will give you the complete uh, analysis of the whole module, whole system, okay, and with some addition to that, some protocols will be there, and you need to follow that protocol. Same thing what you have studied in the computer networks, okay, there is a huge list of protocols available. Based on that protocols, your system architecture will work, okay. And same thing has been applied to your DSPA, okay. Again, you may be having some kind of architecture for that particular architecture and how you are trying to treat that architecture by giving some protocol. Similarly, so in LTE, we do have some kind of protocols and we go through some kind of quality of service. Okay. Again, in this LTE, what we will see here is, we have seen in the previous discussion that the LTE is making use of your packet switching network. Okay. So basically we have three type of networks, that is circuit switching, message switching and packet switching. But here the LTE will make use of packet switching network because the LTE is whole about the data. Okay. It's a data communication just. So therefore we try to focus more on the packet switching, and again in packet switching we'll try to go from end to end communication. Okay, you know what do you mean by end to end? That is peer to peer, physical to physical. Okay, so here also we go for end to end type of data services. Okay, now if you want to support and if you want to give some very good requirement, if you want to increase your quality of services, okay, then what you should see here in LTE system is, first you need to see the control over the elements of the LTE. Then again you need to go for EPS, that is nothing but evolved packet system. And then you need to try to define the network gateway, that is called as packet data network gateway, and simply they have represented by PDN gateway. Okay. And other than that, you need to also focus on the applications. Okay, so applications is nothing but, for example, the message services, the video call, the conference call, the audio call, they are nothing but your applications related to the system or application related to the network. Okay, and how best you can utilize or how best you can improve the quality of services based on the requirement of the LTE. Okay, and some of the examples related to applications which they have mentioned here is email. Okay, because email is an application and the other is nothing but the voice. Okay, now the question is, if you are putting your email and voice together on a separate barrier, okay, then whether the system will meet the quality of services or not, that you have to check in the LTE. So we will see one by one how this LTE system can be improved in terms of its quality, in terms of its application. Okay, now the another problem here which we may face is the connectivity problem. Okay, many of us have going with the online classes, right? And we see many of us face the connectivity issues. Okay, now here if we go with the quality of service, the another application or the another protocol or the another parameter which we may come across here is the connectivity issues. So therefore in LTE system we need to also check the quality of the service and also the connectivity of the network. Okay, or connectivity through various network by making use of some barrier services. Okay, so there is one figure which is shown here, that is figure number 10.1, and that figure number 10.1 will show you the complete architecture of EPS. that is called as Evolved Packet Service. EPS stands for Evolved Packet Service. Okay, so if you look at this node, this diagram, okay, this diagram basically represents the architecture. Okay, so in this particular architecture, you can see here, okay, you have UE, user end, we call it as, or user terminal, or simply you can call it as a user entity. Okay, then we have E node B. Okay, we have S gateway, we have PDN, that is packet data network gateway, and we have peer entity. Okay, and you can see here this peer entity is represented with respect to internet, and this is EPC, and this is Utrain, and we have the other different blocks here is nothing but end-to-end services is provided. We have ESP barrier, we have external barrier. Okay, we have S1 barrier, S5 barrier, and radio barrier. Okay, other than that, we have the radio, we have S1 here, we have S5 and S8 and SGI. We will see one by one how this network management can help us looking into the this architecture. Okay, so if you look at this particular architecture, okay, this architecture is basically for the EPS. Okay, now this EPS barrier has to cross multiply the interferences, and across each interference it is mapped to transport layer. Okay, what we have seen in this is that we have an IP protocol, we have a TCP IP protocol, right? So therefore everything is a bit similar here. Okay, and other than that, okay, you have seen that is SGW and other PDN gateway networks. They are nothing but your transport packets, how your data has been transported from one place to another place by making use of some kind of a protocol. Okay, so based on those protocols, okay, we try to go to establish the network, okay, along with some kind of a barriers, okay, between some E node and some S node. Okay, and everything whatever you transport will make use of some radio interface. Okay, you know what do you mean by radio interface? By making use of your radio frequency signals, we try to go for interface between the other node, okay, and other some kind of barriers. Okay, and other than that, the very important here is nothing but it's an RRC, that is called as a radio resource control, which we use here for signaling the messages. Okay, so there is a concept in the wireless communication regarding the signaling messages. Okay, and along with the signaling messages, the data radio barriers, okay, if they may carry some kind of a user plane. Okay, basically when you go for studying the concept of wireless communication, we come across the two type of plane. One is called as a data plane, and it is called as a user plane, or sometimes we have a user plane and other will be a control plane. Okay, so two planes are available. Based on those two planes, we try to go for establishment of the connection, establishment of LTE network, and try to study the architecture. Okay, and other than that, the radio barriers are mapped to some logical channels through layer 2 protocol. Okay, so you can see there are many layer protocols are available. So based on those layer protocols, we try to go for understanding the concept of the LTE systems. Okay, so in this way, this network, this particular protocol will work. Okay, so similarly here, if you look at this figure, okay, so you can see how they are broadly categorized. Okay, so if you see this figure, the broadly categorized here are divided into the two classes, that is called as guarantee bitrate, they are called as GBR. Okay, and the another is called as a non-GBR barriers. Okay, so what do you mean by the barrier bitrate or GBR here is nothing but these barrier defines and guarantees a minimum bitrate. Okay, they are the minimum bitrate required, minimum bitrate which are used here, and other than that, here in barrier bitrate, if you are making use of minimum bitrate for the transmission or any kind of reception, then you may have some kind of very high bitrate, okay, which can allow or which can make use of the available resources. Okay, and other than that, this GBR barriers are typically used for applications. You can see the applications are voice, okay, video streaming. So what we are doing now, it's a video streaming and real-time gaming. Okay, real-time gaming in the sense people play the video games, online games, right? So based on that online games, they try to go for establishing the connection. So this concept, whatever we say, people play many online video games. Okay, many people go for online video conferencing. How this is happening? What is the architecture behind that? So this whole everything can be understood by understanding the whole architecture. Okay, and what architecture consists of? The architecture consists of these many concepts. Okay, and what about the non-GBR? So the non-GBR are nothing but these are, they do not define, they do not guarantee or guarantee a minimum bit rate to user entity. Okay, so the achieved bit rate depends on the system load. Based on the load, the bit rate can be achieved. Okay, the load in the sense how many number of customers we do have. Okay, so based on that particular node, it will serve, and they also go for some kind of scheduling algorithms. Okay, you have seen in the CCI, we do have many lot of algorithms, ARP, RARP, RARP, right? So based on that particular algorithms, we try to go for understanding the concept of GBR. And other than that, in non-GBR barriers, the various applications are web browsing, right? You go for Google, right? It's a web browsing. We go for email, right? Everybody has a Google account, and you try to go for the sending the mail, receiving the mail. How this is happening? There is some architecture, okay, and that architecture is nothing but your EPS, Evolved Packet Services Barrier Architecture. Then FTP. What do you mean by FTP? That is File Transport Protocol, and P2P files. Okay, peer-to-peer file sharing. Peer-to-peer file in the sense, you know, even you have done the courses on the hardware networking, right? So in hardware networking, what we try to do? We try to share the two computers. They are called as peer, right? Peer-to-peer type of communication. Okay, so based on that peer-to-peer type of communication, we try to go for establishing this uh, LTE architecture. Okay, and the whole will give you the quality of service. Okay, we show you the priority, we show you the budget. Okay, we show you the kind of an error. Okay, so based on that, we try to go for some standard, we try to define in LTE. Okay, and how they are defined in LTE, you can see here. There is one table which is given, that is called as a standardized quality of service class identifier. Okay, in communication network, you have seen we have a class A, class B, class C, right? So based on similarly type of categorization, we do have here, that is GRB. It's a type 2, that is QC1, QC2, QC3 till 9 we do have, that is GBR. Okay, we assign some kind of priority 2, 4, 3, 5. For non-GBR, you can see the priorities numbers are they have given. This is standard, they follow some standard protocol, some data sheet. So this is the data sheet for the LTE. Okay, class identifiers. Okay, packet data budget delay, it's a delay, 100 millisecond delay, 50 delay, very small delays are there. This is the error rate. So error rate, if the number is going more beyond less, the error will be more. If the number is going a bit high, then the error can be as minimum as possible. Okay, so here some examples related to the these barriers are nothing but, you can see conversational voice. Okay, then normal voice calls. Okay, and GBR, if you are making use of GBR with a priority of 2, then you can go for live streaming of video, what we are doing right now. Okay, then if you are having the priorities given as 3, then we go for real-time gaming. Okay, and if your priority is given as the 5, then non-conversational video, that is buffer streaming. Buffer streaming in the sense your YouTube, right? We upload and you buffer. You always there will be a rotation, right? So it's a buffering. Then we have IMS signaling. Okay, then similarly the list goes on. If you have a 6, then video buffer streaming, you have TCP based. You can see the word TCP. We don't have IP, we go for TCP. We have email, you go for chat, right? If the priority is 7, we go for voice, correct, and video, live streaming, interactive gaming. So this is what the table, and this table give you the standardized representation of the quality of service based on the user protocol or user entity. Okay, so in this way we try to analyze, we try to study the whole concept of this radio resource management, how the resources are allocated in the LTE architecture, and how those resources can help us in achieving the various examples or the various applications related to the LTE system.